This is the evening news with Yuen Long and Danielle Staniskov.
Good evening, I'm Danielle Staniskov.
And I'm Yuen Long. We begin with the international port workers' strike in Hong Kong. As the dispute entered its 7th day, both sides have still refused to back down. The workers claimed that the wage conditions have not improved for the past 10 years and vowed to fight to the end.
Over 500 workers and their supporters have gathered outside Hong Kong's Kwai Chin container terminal, complaining that employer Hong Kong International Terminals had not given any increase in pay rate since 1997 despite the inflation. According to the strike organizer, workers often work shifts of up to 72 consecutive hours during high season, constantly being situated in poor working conditions, and get paid only at approximately 160 Australian dollars per day. HIT is a subsidiary of Hutchison Port Holdings Trust, which is owned by Hong Kong's richest man, billionaire Li Ka-shing. They have claimed that the workers were employed by subcontractors and therefore HIT should not be responsible for their accusation. The company has also dismissed claims that workers were being paid less now than they were in 1997, claiming the port was losing about Hong Kong dollars 5 million a day due to the strike. The week-long strikes have received much support amongst Hong Kong student and pro-democracy parties in Hong Kong, with a party has risen over Hong Kong dollars 1.4 million so far to support the workers and paying them 1,000 Hong Kong dollars a day during the strike as compensation. Adrian, WAM News.
We'll have more Hong Kong news later in the bulletin. Back to Perth now. The state opposition has held its first caucus meeting on Tuesday after the state election. On the other hand, the state government has held its first cabinet meeting.
The first caucus meeting was held on Tuesday after the recent state election where opposition leader Mark McGowan has been re-elected as WA's Labour leader. This comes alongside the re-election of his leadership team, where Roger Cook has been re-endorsed as deputy leader, along with Sue Ellery and Kate Das being re-endorsed as leader and deputy leader respectively in the Legislative Council. Mr. McGowan is confident that the current team will continue to put forward positive ideas for the future.
This is a recipe for stability and continuity, and it means that we will have a team that can continue to put forward positive ideas for the future and take the fight up to the Barnett government.
The opposition leader also said that the shadow ministry will be decided next Tuesday. On the other hand, the state government has held its first cabinet meeting last Tuesday. Lucas Bache, WAMN News.
Australia's first ever Indigenous MP and Cabinet Minister Ernie Bridge has passed away on Sunday after losing battle with mesothelioma aged 76. Mr. Bridge was the minister in 1986 when former Labour Premier Brian Burke was in power.
Australia's first Indigenous Cabinet Minister and MP, Ernie Bridge, passed away on Sunday, leaving behind a legacy. Mr. Bridge was a well-liked and well-respected member in the West Australian Parliament. In a recent press conference, opposition leader Mark McGowan portrayed Mr. Bridge to be a great member of Parliament.
A fellow with a broad general knowledge and a great deal of compassion for his fellow citizens, especially those living in the Kimberley.
Mr. McGowan regarded Mr. Bridge as an inspirational role model for many to look up to.
What Ernie personified is that you can come from anywhere, any background, and you can do great things in Western Australia. You don't have to come from privilege, you don't have to have gone to the best schools. You can be of any background and you can do good things. And that was Ernie's life experience. He achieved that. He showed the way for Aboriginal people in Western Australia. He showed the way for all our citizens.
The family of Mr. Bridge has been offered a state funeral by the WA government in recognition of his contribution to the community. Timothy Seow, WAMN News.
Police are seeking for information regarding a fatal road accident that has occurred in Edgewater, where a 21-year-old man suffered severe head injuries and later died at the scene. The incident occurred at 7:20 p.m. last Sunday on the southbound side of Mitchell Freeway near Ocean Reef Road, where a Mercedes-Benz Prime Mover ran into the victim who was walking on the freeway. Anyone who may have witnessed the incident should call Crime Stoppers.
To Asia News now, and the new deadly H7N9 avian flu has spread from Shanghai to the northern parts of China, killing 2 people, according to the Department of Health in Jiangsu Province. Meanwhile, Hong Kong's Health Secretary Dr. Koh Weng-man has expressed his concerns over the case. The Centre for Health Protection and the Hospital Authority will hold meetings on the matter. At the same time, border securities will continue to use infrared technology to track travellers' body temperatures. But some universities experts said it's still hard to determine whether the virus can spread between humans.
In Hong Kong, an 18-year-old man has been charged with murder to both of his father and stepmother, while his 19-year-old friend was charged with causing grievous bodily harm with intent to murder. Aaron Key has more.
Both accused faced the Tuen Mun Magistrate Court this week. However, the judge has approved the prosecution's adjournment application to the 16th of April. The gruesome murder occurred on the 16th of March this year, when a 15-year-old man was found dead and his 39-year-old wife seriously injured in their apartment in Yuen Long. Aaron Key, Warm News.
To sport now, the stage was set at Percy Doyle Reserve for a great clash between Sorrento and Coburn in the All Flag State League on Friday night. That was until the game was delayed. Christian Dwyer has more.
It was all set to be a great encounter for both sides, but alas it wasn't to be, as the council not only failed to turn on the lights at the stadium, but the club arranged for the match to be delayed so as to allow supporters to watch Perth Glory's crucial elimination final. The Glory got off to a great start after 15 minutes as Rio Nagaya scored after 15 minutes off his chest, his second goal for the club, with the Japanese winger still not having scored off his foot for the club. The Glory would hold on until the very end of the game, and had a chance to score a second goal to put it beyond down on 87 minutes after Jamison was brought down in the box. However, Shane Smeltz blasted his shot over the bar. Controversy struck again, though, as just like last year, Jared Gillette gave a controversial last-minute penalty, despite the strike and the boo, clearly handling the ball. The man who brought down Jamison just minutes earlier, Mark Milligan, turned hero, however, as he slotted home the penalty to take the game to extra time. And 4 minutes into extra time, Archie Thompson popped up to combine with Marco Royas to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat and steal the elimination final for Melbourne. The final score, 2-1. Christian Dwyer, WAMN News.
And that is how the world looks tonight, with more news on our website.
Don't forget to join us for Perth's Cantonese newscast this Sunday. Thanks for your company. Good evening.
Good night.